forward.
I know it's into the Disruptor, but we did see Limp play Pangolier basically every game yesterday, it seemed like. And it's okay against the Razor, at least in lane. He's not going to get linked forever. It gives them some more team fight.
Yeah. I can see it. What about like a... Nah, probably not that. I was going to say a TA. Definitely another hero that he's known for playing.
Team pick.
They banned Kunkka. Interesting Kunkka ban, by the way. Because, again, it's more of a mid option usually for that ban. But with the Razor, you would think CCC is going to be playing Razor here.
Yeah, we might be seeing the SF then, just because
10 seconds
that's
remaining.
not the greatest matchup for the SF.
5 seconds remaining.
And I mean, Razor is a hero that you can definitely just throw into the off lane if you need to.
Yeah.
If they're like, oh, this is the perfect counter pick hero.
Pick.
Yeah, there's the SF. As expected.
So now forward, will they maybe swap it up here with another hero that maybe matches up better against the Shadow Fiend? Something like a Tiny themselves.
10 seconds.
We saw that yesterday against Limp. The Tiny matched up into him, and I still think he actually performed decent.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, CCNC play a ton of that hero back on Optic. But I think we probably will see him on the Razor. Won't be able to pressure nearly as well, since Limp will likely just be raising out the wave and going to farm, and CCNC will also just be pushing out the wave and going to farm.
Forward gaming, then, if that's the case, and an offlaner is one to be picking up here. Bat Rider is still there. Want to say Snaking has definitely played that before. And good in the laning phase against Terrorblade. I guess you'd have a Nyx Assassin, though. That could be a little annoying. May want more of an aura carrier as well.
Yeah,
Instead,
I mean, it is kind of interesting that both the mid and carry would be shown in the first 3 picks. So maybe this will be a CCNC hero. Something like a Puck, something with Magic Burst to deal with the Wyvern, to deal with the Terrorblade. Their Magic Burst is actually pretty low on forward right now. Maybe a Lina.
I do like Lina, actually. I'm trying. One that maybe isn't as concerned of a Nyx Assassin, but still surprising. Okay, they're going to go the offlaner, though.
Hero.
Okay. So, I mean, early Magic Burst from Centaur against the Terrorblade.
Yeah, good into that. Makes you wonder if compLexity may try to avoid the lane even. We definitely have seen some aggressive Terrorblade lanes before with the early Metamorphosis, and could man up against the Juggernaut perhaps. But it is CCNC on Razor, so we'll have a Razor versus Shadow Fiend mid matchup. One of the top players in the NA region, according to the ladder, of course.
Yep. Definitely 2 of the top. Both of these guys are usually in like the top 10, I feel like. Almost perpetually. Limp is almost always in the top 3, it feels like. He plays more Dota than anybody I've ever seen. Always queuing, no matter what hour of the day it is.
And he somehow stays in shape pretty well, too.
Yeah, I think he probably only works out and plays Dota. That's about it.
Yeah, it's fascinating. compLexity, of course, has a great department there and for health and fitness and stuff, too. So that helps, but, you know, he's a grinder in a couple different ways. So, playing Dota, keeping fit, the dream. Here we go, game 1 of this next semester 3. Again, a spot in the major on the line. $1 million prize pool, the points and everything, and it's freaking Disneyland. I feel like I have to keep reiterating that. Oh, let me make sure to change this real quick. There we go. Don't want that interface on the screen as we're in the game now. So forward on the Radiant, compLexity, part of the Dire side. Forward has 4 heroes heading towards the bottom currently. Going to contest for the bounty rune down here. You see the line being drawn by Death on the compLexity side to go into the Radiant jungle. We might have an engagement early on.
I don't know if you want to fight into this forward lineup. I mean, this is a Razor, Disruptor, Shaman, Jug. 4 of the most highly damaging heroes in the early.
Well, Z-Freak already leveled Impale as well, so he's going to throw out the Impale. Giving some damage up to Razor, but yeah, they can't catch up further. Shadow Shaman went the Ether Shock. No chance that catch it. Yeah, they didn't really get their crowd control at all. That's the problem, though, with them
30
fighting.
seconds to battle.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to level up your crowd control skills in either Disruptor or Shaman at level 1. You want those harassing abilities.
They're going to go take this rune, though. compLexity aware of that. Will kind of be nearby, but ultimately, I'm sure they'll give it up. Z-Freak's going to attempt it a little bit. Is this going to be a... This is actually going to be a 3-for-1, it looks like.
Yep.
Forward, yeah, top lane.
Doing a good job of controlling those bottom 2 runes. You are bullying the Nyx Assassin away, so no chance to stun and steal.
Right now it is Centaur by himself up here, but Ross does make it his way over. MSS will join him. And we will get our 2-1-2 matchup. Currently, Nyx Assassin, was almost like he was heading mid, but he's going to go get the creep wave. He ran right past a ward, so the Radiant team very aware of what he's trying to accomplish here. Not too surprising, though. Meta's already popped top lane.
Oh, yeah. Putting some pressure. And securing these first few waves of creeps. Very, very important that you get to level 2 before the other team does. Gives you a big power spike. Especially against the Centaur Shaman lane, you do not want to give them level 2 early. So they'll be able to just murder you.
Nyx Assassin does get the successful pull off at the bottom lane. Not much more Disruptor can do about that. Especially only having a Thunder Strike right now. Makes me wonder, like, if he... Could you argue that maybe getting Glimpse at level 1 would be better for this case, but it's a long cooldown on Glimpse, though, too, is the problem at level 1. It's a minute cooldown.
Yeah, it just doesn't really help you with harass. You want to be able to trade early on. Try and, bully people off the creep wave. That's what most of the early fighting is in the lanes. Harass, it's not really so much just like put damage on the other team and threaten to kill them. It's more so that they can't approach the creep wave if they're low, which allows you to get easy last hits and denies.
Middle matchup right now, it's a 9-5 Razor versus a 4-1 Shadow Fiend. So perhaps that's expected, at least at this point. It's a typical Shadow Fiend idea where he's going to be behind early on. We'll probably see a second point and raise at level 3 and try to help with some last hits. Nice deny there. Gonna get this one. CCC denies it again, and Limp will be able to at least get the range creep.
Yep, very important to secure those. Using the raise, totally acceptable. Especially when you're struggling to get some last hits early on.
Get wrecked. He's probably dead. This is going to be first blood going the way of compLexity. There's that Iron Shell. It's a level 1 Iron Shell, but on 2 different heroes, and Z-Freak lands the Impale. Disruptor not the fastest hero. Cannot get away.
No, he's pretty weak when he's having to play sort of like the defensive support. Might be an opportunity for him to rotate somewhere else, or maybe he'll just come back and harass this Darkseer. We've seen the Darkseers come very low, cutting the wave constantly, and then just eventually die and come back to the lane. Almost every game we've seen the Darkseer. Oh, mid lane!
Jeez, Razor getting low. Limp. Another raise? He's not going to go for it. Self already popped by CCNC. Yeah, he got low right there. Were you watching that beforehand?
Yeah, it was just a double raise combo.
Okay. Not going to land it. Top lane Metamorphosis has been used again by Terrorblade. They're going for the return damage on Snake King. It's plenty. Splinter Blast connects. The Arctic Burn is not enough damage, but one more range attack. It's not enough still. 3-4-3 does go down because of the chase. The Centaur survives. Wow, that was so close. Managed to live, though. Stout Shield definitely helping there.
Yeah, absolutely. You are farming very well in the bottom lane. Both cores for forward having extremely good laning stages so far. 7 denies apiece. Leading in CS.
Juggernaut.
I love this by Uar. Not being pressured by any hero, so he's just going to pull the wave over to the hard camp, allow them to tank the damage, and also farm the hard camp as well.
This one you're dealing with a Darkseer who can manipulate the lane so much, similar to like an Axe could maybe. Obviously a hero that we don't see right now, but point is, you got to be clever. As I say, this Darkseer is going to get caught. Kinetic Field. He's probably dead himself this time. Yes, he definitely is. So MSS gets credit for the kill. Good rotation from Rasta. Clearly, Darkseer was not expecting him to be there. So, good timing. Nyx Assassin in the middle lane, meanwhile, is trying to help out Limp a little bit. And Limp has recovered. He's 22-5 now against a 24-7 Razor. Raises. Gets a couple there. That's a 5-minute bounty rune's coming in, and looks like we'll have another 3-for-1 favoring Forward Gaming. So the bounty rune control this game so far, looking pretty good for the Radiant side. They got a shrine here, it looks like. CCNC, they're killing off a camp, and yeah, they're going to make their way over to the shrine. So Limp will get some free farm for the time being. Is this going to be the Guardian Greaves build on Shadowfiend, you think?
I mean, that's the most popular. It seems to be people believe in the most at the moment. Does kind of feel like an early Force Staff would really benefit their team.
Lend us a spark, Razor.
Right-click Hurricane Pike, Shadow Fiend. We haven't seen in a while, but also, I mean, the armor. Guardian Greaves it's one of like the top 5 items in the game probably right now. It's never a bad idea to have one on your team.
Yeah, you can get away with it for sure.
Yeah. Darkseer is another candidate to build it, so we'll have to see how it develops, which one of them is going to pick up those auras.
Illusion!
That's a good point, actually. Darkseer is going to be getting the Arcane Boots at least, so maybe not, but yeah, we'll see. Snake King, top lane. He's going to probably go down this time. This is 3 heroes coming together. Just before that, of course, Nyx Assassin was picked off as he was rotating through the Radiant jungle. They happened to run into him at the right time, so he takes advantage of the resurrection and goes to the top lane and gets the kills we see right there. Meanwhile, bottom is Juggernaut's pushing the tower now, and Death, he has to be very careful. Look at how far Rasta's up. That's a Radiant Rasta. He's all the way at the tier 2. He is going to just zap him and run on by.
Get out of my house.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower
They should easily get the tower kill here, though. Death is just going to soak up some experience. There's no way he tries to deny this, though. It's too risky.
Dyer's
Let it
bottom
fall.
tower
Take it.
has fallen.
Denied.
And Limp does queue up the Arcane Boots, flying himself the energy booster, so it will be a Greaves.
Okay.
Or the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, I was thinking with the Darkseer that, maybe not, but he is still going to go the Guardian Greaves. Look at Uar, though, man. I just switched over to the net worth. Oh, my God. He's 3,700. 2,700 on Razor is next in line.
Yeah, he's owning right now. He's got a completely free lane. He's taking advantage of it. The hard camp pull that he did a few times. The early tower kill as well. He's going to pick up a drums as his next item. He's going to be very, very strong entering this breakdown of the laning stage.
3 for 3 top lane. He will be spotted here. Takes a little bit of a second to react, to realize what's going on, perhaps looking elsewhere. He's going to get glimpsed right back into a kinetic field and a stomp. An easy kill on a Wyvern in the end, so they happen to find him hanging out, trying to leech some experience. That was a good kill there for Forward. As Limp is doing some jungling nearby, but that's also because Terrorblade, he's trying to jungle himself, and that's just what Terrorblade does. As he hits about this level 4 or 5 point.
Invisibility.
So he's going to work his way through there. And Rasta's pretty deep into the jungle.
Invis rune. He's on the hunt.
Can't do anything by himself. Maybe hoping to catch Terrorblade or something with not much life in the jungle, but not going to be the case. Just getting information. Uar's going drums, by the way. Seeing that early farm being used there.
Yep, and he is not in danger from anything that compLexity can bring to bear on him at the moment, so he'll just farm wherever he damn pleases. I think people forget that Uar is traditionally a carry. He's been playing mid on Forward for the last year or so, but He's a carry player.
Yeah. And depending on certain heroes, he would play carry, but yeah, Resolution usually would be that position 1 for the team, so that definitely seems like a very comfortable role for him, of course. MSS, by the way, picked up in the top lane. The Stampede from Snaking, unable to save his teammate right there. There are heroes setting up, though, CCNC included.
Ford wants to fight here. No Sunder on Miracle's Terrorblade.
Yawar is also coming in. He's got that Omni Slash. He's going to spin on top of Zfreak. The Spike Carapace runs off to the left. Miracle's being chased down. The tether's up from CCNC. AKA that static link, draining plenty of damage. So Terrorblade just has to keep running, but he can't run when he's stunned. The Hoof Stomp connects and a kill on a Terrorblade. So that worked out very well for Ford. They killed 2, including the Terrorblade with that meta they had activated.
Yeah, great rotation by Yawar and CCNC, and they have 112 stolen damage to take this tower with. Going to be some extremely early pressure coming out. Really good rotations from Forward right now, although they will lose the bottom 2 bounty runes to death.
What surge is this? Dire's top tower is under attack.
Shadow Fiend's been in the jungle this whole time.
Top tower
Feels like at least. I'm sure he's been occasionally going back to the mid lane, but he has been getting some farm here, and he's going to have the mech finished almost, so really trying to get those Guardian Greaves ASAP. But the problem with the Guardian Greaves build this time, in my opinion, for Shadow Fiend is this isn't really a team that screams, you know, the whole group up and let's start pushing towers. Terrorblade's not going to want to do that for a while. You're dealing with a Nyx Assassin, a Wyvern supporting core. It feels a little funky to me.
Definitely. I mean, Terrorblade is a hero that can certainly hit that power spike early on with a good laning stage. He has the ability to push towers very early if you have a good core around him. But you are right in thinking that, you know, with the Nyx Assassin, they don't have the most death ball lineup I've ever seen. So it is a little strange to see the Guardian Greaves.
Yawar's just diving at a tier 2 tower. I mean, he's going to be fine, of course, as he walks off, pops the Healing Ward, but he's, again, showing off his farm here and how he's just not afraid right now in this game. So yeah, it goes back to complexity, though, especially once those Guardian Greaves are finished. Although they might be delayed here. He's going to pop his Requiem, at least mitigating some of the damage, but it's not going to be nearly enough. So much stolen by Razor. And that with Yawar getting the last hit. That's going to slow down said Guardian Greaves at this point.
MSS drops the ward on mid. So much early pressure from Forward. They're playing incredibly crisp and very, very fast.
That movement looking good. Perhaps Nyx Assassin going to need some usefulness out of him. The Spike Carapace stun on center as he stampedes away. It's going to be a good start. Snaking, he has a hood, but it's not going to save him against the Terrorblade meta damage. And so at least they take him out. That's where what you got to do with Nyx Assassin, of course, especially now that he's level 6. Start to find some kills if you can. So the trying to climb back into this early deficit, but look at Yawar again. He's going to dive past. He's got an Omni Slash. Not going to use it here, though. They just glimpse him back into an easy Hex and a Shackle. Impale stops the Shackle, but there's no chance for 343 to make his way out of here. However, the raises land, and they are going to kill Shadow Shaman in a response, at least.
Yep. Forces rotations from complexity, though. Meanwhile, CCNC putting the pressure on top lane. However, bottom tower will go down as Terrorblade has meta active. And that is what Terrorblade does.
Darkseer. Again, down here, going to put that pressure on that tier 2 tower the best he can. As Mech is delivered to Limp. Z-Freak, though, another Vendetta popped. But I go back, I mean, the last kill was great, but it required a Terrorblade with that meta form going pretty deep into the Radiant jungle to find that kill. You know, really any other hero on the side is not necessarily going to be a great follow-up to these ganks from Nyx Assassin. Maybe a Darkseer or the Ion Shell and getting in there, but it's just hitting me, I guess, that the synergy of this lineup, it's a little funky.
It is a little funky, and also the kill priority. Like, sure, you can kill Snaking, but you could probably kill the Centaur 20 times this game, and as long as he has a Crimson Guard, he does his job by pressing R every now and then.
Yeah. Death, he's well, living up to the name there. Yawar credit for it. Just great coordination from Forward, though. They simply find him and goes back to the disruptor pick, that is. A Glimpse is a very good tool against that hero. Pulls him right back in.
Yasha complete for the Juggernaut. Complexity is doing a decent job of spreading the map now, as Forward did make a pretty heavy rotation in that bottom lane to get the kill on the Darkseer. Z-Freak setting up potentially for something here around the shrine, around the 15-minute mark as well.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
You know what that was right there? So the Radiant scanned. Somebody scanned this area right here. Z-Freak somehow was just on the outskirt of the scan, so he wasn't hit. And that scan was apparently for the purpose of sending the courier over to make sure it wouldn't get sniped. And sure enough, Nyx Assassin sniped the courier. So that was just well played.
Whoops.
Yeah. That wasn't Yule's, by the way. That was CCNC's Yule on the courier. So that's going to be delayed. Now Snaking, he's running at this top lane. They do catch somebody. That's the Nyx Assassin. Cold Embrace will save him, though.
Forward wants to back off here. This is an awkward engagement. Good disciplined retreat by them. But Nyx is chasing. And Death will get the bottom bounty runes. Potentially CCNC is here. But yeah, without that Yules, he can't actually catch the Darkseer.
And so Nyx Assassin, he's going to see them in the area picking up the runes. He's going to spot Yawar running over, but really just using this Vendetta simply for information. Okay, so Guardian Greaves now delivered to Shadow Fiend. So he does have the Guardian Greaves now. He's going to make his way to the top lane as MSS could be in trouble. He's definitely in trouble. There's the open. Here comes a couple raises. And there's no more Shadow Shaman. So, good gank. For complexity. And you know what? I'm looking at the net worth now. It's only 1,000 net worth. How did that happen, actually? It was 4,000 not too long ago. I guess that courier snipe was a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and just, I mean, forward, they took all those tier 1s super early on and then didn't have quite enough momentum to carry it into tier 2s right away. So they've been giving up a lot of map control back to complexity. Miracle and Death, either one of them has been in the bottom lane farming.
Radiant structures are
completely ignoring the rest of the game for the most part.
Juggernaut. He was seen there by Nyx Assassin, although he's not farming the creep wave, so of course complexity knows where he's at. Juggernaut will deny that top tower. A Razor again having to wait another 40 seconds before he can actually finish his Yules, and he's already working towards a BKB. By the way, Nyx Assassin's caught over here. The Rasta Ward's being used for this. And a spin from UR, another sentry!
Need one more hit.
He's dead. Okay, yeah, he had to pop a stick, and that means he's dead. Very close call there. Again, Rasta Ward's committed for it, but still, good kill.
That was so close. I wonder if he doesn't pop the stick there, whether he gets that. But there was the sentry here, so probably not.
Yeah.
Jug just a little too fast with the drums and FaZe and Yasha. Going for full movement speed on this hero.
Terrorblade, very quietly, as Terrorblades tend to do sometimes. He's been farming away. Maybe not the greatest start, but all of a sudden, he's second in net worth now. He's caught up to the Juggernaut. He's got a Yasha. He's going to go right into a BKB himself. So that's a very high priority BKB this game.
Yeah, before the Manta even.
You think it makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, if they want to fight, sure. Like, the Terrorblade cannot enter these fights unless he has the BKB. There's just way too much lockdown from the side of forward. So that would indicate that complexity would like to start pressuring this mid tower, maybe contesting Roche or something like that. And Limp is also farming very, very well. He almost has a 4-staff complete and is well ahead of CCNC on the Razor despite having a bad early game.
Yeah. I mean, Shadow Fiend, there's some heroes that, yeah, they have a bad start. It's horrible and, you know, it feels bad for them and they're not going to recover. Shadow Fiend's the opposite. He can have a bad start. He'll be fine. He's got those raises. He can just farm up the jungle stacks, etc. And he'll be able to recover if anything. So, yeah, not too surprising to see him at third in net worth up there with the best of them. But goes back to complexity. They've closed the gap. You see forward gaming maybe feeling it a little bit. They're trying to smoke up and find something in the dire jungle, but they can't find that something. No one's here for complexity. Instead, complexity's being smart. They're pushing out bottom. Shadow Fiend's farming his own jungle to the right. I guess it's Terrorblade over there. And Terrorblade just finished his BKB too, so you get the BKB, right? Yeah, okay, it is delivered. You get the BKB, you got a 4-staff on Shadow Fiend. If you're complexity, do you look to fight now? Do you actually try to find them?
I think that you don't necessarily look for a fight, but you're willing to take one around when objectives. Because I definitely think that forward's going to have damage problems.
They're going to fight. There's a Crimson Guard in the Stampede, though. Forwards running. Can they catch anybody? Death pulls back in with a vacuum, but it's just center and not really a follow-up. And the kinetic field going to stop it as well. So they just got a BKB, 10-second BKB used off the bat, and a Metaform with nothing really happening there.
Yeah, that's not ideal. Centaur is extremely good at doing exactly that. You can pick and choose your fights, and if it does not look good, you get the hell out of dodge. Forward, happy to go back and farm, look for a better opportunity now without BKB and meta available. But
both sides having a Crimson Guard, by the way. You saw Snake Kings right there. Death on Darkseer also has one. On the other
great
side.
item. Great item for both teams. Terrorblade Illusions. I mean, you could even Crimson Guard the person who gets Winner's Curse on the side of forward, and good against the Omni Slash, good against the wards as well, protecting buildings.
A lucky find.
Double damage rune, Nyx Assassin, he'll pick it up. And I saw him working on a Meteor Hammer. Is that being delivered? No, I think he might be changing his mind, actually. Okay, so yeah, he has a Ogre Axe, but he's going to go a Blink Dagger next instead. Oh, he's trying to get CC&C right there at the Spike Carapace. Not going to happen.
I thought a little bit better of it. Realized his team was not anywhere close to follow up on it. But Call gripping up, smoking.
Oh,
they're going to contest Roche.
Terrorblade was spotted, though. He got smoked and he came out immediately, so I'm sure Ford may have picked up on that. But anyways, they're doing Roshan. Wyvern's a good hero against this, though.
Oh, absolutely. Collision's going to give them perfect vision for a second.
There's another
second smoke used.
They really want to stop this. Understandable. Meta's still on cooldown, by the way. 35 seconds after pulling CCC. Pops BKB right away. Going on top of Limb. Draining some damage. He gets a 4-step over the Lezo. Shackles, meanwhile, locking down Nyx Assassin, but the Cold Embrace saving it for the time being. Stampede on top, though. Eventually going to be killed off, I'm sure. Or maybe not, actually. He's going to stay alive with the Spike Carapace. 3-4-3 also gets away at the last second. CCC finally takes him out. It took a little bit longer than expected, though. Only one kill, and it was on the Wyvern. He cannot buy back. They want this Roshan. compLexity not going to be giving it up necessarily, though. Z-Freak, he's ready to come back in from the other side. Limp.
Omni Slash is still available.
Doesn't have a Requiem anymore. You mentioned Omni Slash ready, but you are running back in through the wall. They get the kill on Ascension. There's the Omni Slash bouncing around. BKB from Miracle, though. He's got a Metamorphosis now. He activated it right there. Buyback from the Centaur, but CC&C, it's too much damage. Vacuum pull back in. You are the Omni Slash wearing off. He has to spin out now, and now it's turn for compLexity to take Roshan.
It's
all right,
so low, too.
Oh, pull back in, though, onto the Metamorphosis. Terrorblade. The kinetic field locking him in place as well. The Centaur stop on top of that. Can he get his Sunder off at the last second? The Shackles, the long-range Shackles. He needs to center something, but the Cold Embrace saving him. There's the Sunder at the last second. Now Yawar's in trouble himself. He has to run away, and he'll do just that. Snaking now. He could be going down. The glimpse back on a Darkseer. The uphill attack going to miss, and Centaur will barely live. compLexity needs to decide what they want to do here. They go back into the Roshan pit. Metamorphosis still has a good 10 seconds or so. Is this it? Do they get it?
They had to Sunder Limp, so he's very low, but Forward going to give it up.
Yeah.
They don't have any resources. They're all too low. No ultimates.
What a fight by compLexity. The Outlast right there. Yeah, the Metamorphosis coming up at a pretty clutch time. I mean, both sides have some pretty key plays. I mean, considering not a lot of people died in that fight, it was just kiting back and forth. But compLexity wins in the end.
That was almost better that they used the meta and BKB so early, because it came up at the very end of that fight, which allowed compLexity to get that sort of re-engage to take the fight and the rush.
Yawar? I don't think it's an easy kill, but...
Ben? TP?
They're going to try. Yawar's juking around, though. Making it difficult, and he'll just TP out. So, oh! Wow, that was a long TP. Okay.
Yeah, TP'd. So the tower just already had one. That could have been bad.
Yeah, if Z-Freak kind of, just said what if, maybe went for the Impale stun, but you can't blame him for not trying. 4-man smoke, meanwhile, from Forward. I think they might have been seen. I'm not sure, actually. But either way.
I think it was just a sentry ward. Not an obs they smoked under.
Terrorblade just ran right into them.
He has the Aegis, though, so not the hero you want to go on.
He's got Sunder good to go as well. Yeah, we saw that Cold Embrace right there from Wyvern. That's, any of these kind of save heroes, Oracle, Dazzle, Wyvern, when you have a Terrorblade on your team, it's good to think about picking one of them up.
That was so close to killing him, though, there, because he was being spun on. He's able to get that Sunder off on Limp at the very last second before going down.
Limp, he's going to block the creeps here. Just so ingrained in him. But they're going to push that mid-tier 1 now with us easily. And Freak's up here. Getting caught, kind of, but they'll be glad to fight this. MSS, he's dead. And they're going to keep going. So Guardian Greaves again on Shadowfiend. This is where it's really good to have. When you're all clumped up, the Death Ball push.
And meta is up with this Terrorblade. This is a very good timing for compLexity right now.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Fort right away, but as soon as that fort wears off, that tower is going to drop fast. They do have all their ultimates.
Presence Aura doing work.
Is he level 15? You get the talent? Yeah, he did. Crimson Guard also doing work, though. Jeez, that does mitigate a lot.
How is this tower still alive?
Yeah, the Crimson Guard's good, man. Affecting buildings is pretty nice. Glimpse, Shadow Fiend. I don't know if that's honestly a great target either. I guess you again an Aegis on Terrorblade, but still, they can't really commit for it. Yawar is thinking about an angle, but not going to find it. compLexity doing a good job sticking together as a team, making the right decision as far as the timing goes to fall back. Shrines are exposed now, so they could try to kill those in the near future. Oh, Nyx Assassin went back for the Meteor Hammer, actually. So he does go the Meteor Hammer in the end.
What surge is this?
Yep. It's a pretty classic build-up for Nyx. You can basically just stun directly after your Impale. I think like the frame after your Impale, if you do it immediately, it's guaranteed to hit. Kind of like that old, the Naga sleep into Meteor Hammer trick.
Yeah.
Now my enemies pay.
Yeah, I remember that was like the one hero when Meteor Hammer first came out, people were trying to heroes like the Naga Siren. The synergy there. Or like a Treant.
Yeah. I mean, it's core on tree, for sure.
Yeah. The fact he can cast it in Invis.
Ricky Meteor Hammer. That's the real deal.
Alright, we're getting a little crazy now. A little crazy here. Terrorblade, Eye of Scotty. He's got 3,000 gold saved up, so he's working on that Eye of Scotty. It's coming nicely. The Aegis, 45 seconds before it's going to wear off here. Shadow Fiend also trying to finish a Manta, and that's actually just around the corner himself. compLexity wants to do another fight before the Aegis runs out. You can tell.
Radiant's top shrine is under
Gonna
attack.
go for a shrine for now instead. How's Yawar looking now? He does have a full Mjolnir. Mjolnir as well as the Manta. And that's, the farm is definitely showing on him. Get Rex caught.
Yeah, this is kind of an awkward place for Forward to be in, though. Because they had so much good early momentum, but right now, both CCNC and Yawar kind of like to have one more item, maybe even two more items where they really feel like they can fight the Terrorblade and Shadow Fiend. So they're strong, but they're not quite strong enough to just be comfortable taking any fight.
It's kind of an example of that. Terrorblade ports in, and immediately they retreat from the bottom lane. Yeah, Razor and Juggernaut both going back to the jungle to farm on up. You see Razor with the casual Sage for now. Is going to go the SNY. Oh, they found Nyx. Good old Sentry Ward happened to be placed here. That's what you do when you're facing a hero like a Nyx Assassin. You know, place random sentries throughout. He's still alive. It's just a matter of time, though.
I scorch your name in the book of the dead.
This casual plate mail on CCNC's Razor. Eventually we'll go for the Shivas. But he just wants to be as tanky as possible.
Terrorblade well on his way to that Eye of Scotty, as mentioned before. And the Manta now finished on Shadow Fiend on the other side. So 3,000 net worth lead for compLexity currently. As we've kind of hit the calm once again, the Aegis is worn out. Perhaps another Roshan is where we can expect more action. Another minute 45 before he could spawn.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be one of those games where it all comes down to a super clutch team fight. Both teams have very good late game and very good team fighting. So whoever executes their fights better, whoever finds the initiation is probably going to come out on top in this game.
Oh, Centaur. He's gonna almost get caught there, but he blinks away before.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Darkseer is gonna hunt for him now. We saw him blink out, but cannot find him, unfortunately. Another long TP. Centaur was just TPing back to the base, though, to join up with the team. Smoke play. Yep, that's 5-man smoke here. They definitely were not seen, and they're running right down the mid lane. And smoke on complexity side, though, so a bit funky right here.
Yeah, they know that forward is literally right there because all those came out of nothing.
Roshan.
Smoke pops.
Yeah, his smoke pops, so does Darkseer's there. Again, Roshan still has 40 seconds before he even could spawn, so I don't know if that was just mistimed right there or if both sides happen to just meet up in that area coincidentally. Either way, they'll fall back, and we'll get an eye on the Roshan timer here as soon as it does hit over. See what we're looking at. I have Scotty, though, finished on Terrorblade as these 30-minute bounty runes are now coming out. Blink daggers, noticed a couple. Darkseer, well, he could buy his. He has 2,700 gold, so he's trying to think if he wants something else, I suppose. But Nyx Assassin almost there as well, so we're going to have a couple of ways to get those jumps on the complexity side, which they could definitely use, because right now their initiation is maybe a little weak.
Yeah, definitely. They need some way to close the gap when Stampede comes out, for example. Yawar also picks up a Blink Dagger, so he's looking to jump the back lines, find the Wyvern, find the Darkseer.
Yeah, it's actually a great item on this hero. Also positions for an Omni Slash effectively if necessary. So, definitely like to see that item here. There's another shrine going down, though. Complexity taking full advantage of getting that tier 3 tower killed earlier. They're going to be able to take out both shrines.
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack.
Rasta's pinging the top tier 3 tower himself, though. He might go in and just drop the wards.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
Radiant's
bottom
he drops
tower
the
is under attack.
Wave.
Radiant's bottom
He's
tower
not going to use the
has
Rasta. We're a
fallen.
little surprised at that. He's
Dire's
going to
top
run up and
tower
do
is
so.
under attack.
He does get a couple of TPs in, though. Yawar. Nyx Assassin. Oh, but the blink. Makes it out of danger right there. Instead, MSS will just camp out the area for now. He's going to hang in here. And eventually, we'll try to place those wards down.
TP out now. His team resets to the bottom and mid lane. Terrorblade pushes out the top lane. He has a Daedalus queued up next. Very good against the Juggernaut and Razor. And we'll probably see... I would imagine that we see the Metamorphosis attack range eventually if he gets to level 25, just to keep your distance from the Razor. CCNC doesn't have any form of gap close at the moment. He actually has a Refresher Orb queued up next.
Oh, on Razor? Really? Huh. That seems a little interesting to me. Because we talked about the Shivas does feel really good this game too, though, and he already has the casual plate mail, so like at least getting that. It's not that Refresher's bad, but I feel like at least he could finish the Shivas first. But yeah, he really wants that Refresher.
Yeah, you usually only see Refresher when you have the Ags as well, because then you just, I mean,
yeah,
you take towers faster than any other hero in the game.
Z-Freak, he's setting up here. It looks like Complexity again, hoping to find a chance. Roshan is up, which Terrorblade will already go in and start doing. Illusion's duking it out. Curse on a Razor. Miracle Summoner's got Glimpse. That looks like goes Darkseer. Got this back with the Wrecking right on top. Razors, he's exploding. He gets the heals up at the last second. And the BKB. Will he survive? Maybe. No, he will not. The Crimson Guard just not enough to save him. Yawar now in trouble. The Eye of Scotty's slow going through. Yawar's in plenty of trouble himself. He doesn't have his Omni Slash anymore. He is going to run, though, the other direction. A good slow distraction from MSS will keep him busy, but now MSS is probably going to fall for it. Of course, worth it if that's the case to keep his Juggernaut alive. So, yep, they do kill Rasta. And now Complexity making their way back to the Roshan pit to try to conclude it. Or are they? They're now heading middle instead, so they're trying to decide what they want to do.
I want to force these buybacks, I think, and then go to Roche. Potentially... Static Storm is down, Stampede is down, everything is down.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Oh, they're going to get the melee racks at least. Fortification wearing off. There's a Razor buyback. So they do get the melee racks. Hookstop only at 1, though. Shadow Fiend, he's fine. He's got Guardian Greaves. He'll pop it right there. They're turning with the Razor. Centaur's going to explode. He buys back immediately. Everyone currently up for Forward Gaming due to the buybacks. Death, he's caught. He's got a pipe. Can he get it off? Cold Embrace and the Force Staff going to help keep him alive for sure. Centaur went too far. Centaur's broken. Centaur's going to be a dieback. No, he's still alive. Reflection, not going to be enough. And he actually gets out. So very close call there. But he will stay alive. Curse on a Juggernaut. It's going to hold him in place. But not really the most coming out of it. In fact, it forces compLexity to almost chase after them. Sunder coming up from Terribly, not a big one. BKB from CCNC, and now Forward's chasing back. It's just a death ball clump on top of one another. Sort of tell even what's really happening. Miracle, he pops his own BKB though. Again, no metamorphosis. He's still doing some melee damage though. And the dieback on center happens. War explodes as well with a couple of raises on the Requiem. He buys back immediately. MSS in trouble now once again. The hacks, they're kiting so real, but it's not enough. A couple of diebacks happen on the side of Forward Gaming, but they still want to pursue. Juggernaut goes in. He's on top of Terrorblade back there. Death is going to try to TP out. No, he gets glimpsed back in. And Darkseer now going to go on a run. He's got some wand charges. There's the surge.
Wasting so much of their time, though.
Yeah, might as well. Going to go into their base.
Oh,
no, he doesn't. Okay, he is going to die in the end. Just took plenty of time to do so. So, yeah, I mean, that was, what, 4 buybacks at least? Yeah, 4 buybacks from Forward Gaming. So they didn't necessarily get a lot of objective out of it, but a compLexity, very pleased.
Absolutely. I mean, look at the net worth, 16K net worth for compLexity now. And this Terrorblade just feels unstoppable in these fights. This Razor is not having nearly enough impact. Juggernaut's damage feels very minimal against the massive armor of Terrorblade, and I mean, that fight was like 6 patches long or something.
It took a while. compLexity, they're not, apparently we got to reset. Yawar's dead.
Wow. That's just...
That might be game. 100 seconds, he's out for it. Nyx Assassin found him initially, it looks like, and they just followed up. Razor's locked in place.
He's also dead. There's no way he gets out of this.
That's going to be a dieback on him, and like I said, that just might be the game. Both cores are out. GG's our call. compLexity will take game number 1 in this best out of 3. I mean, obviously at that point, they already had a significant lead, but yeah, your cores unfortunately just getting caught out one by one. That's what ultimately puts a nail in the coffin.
Wow, that that went from bad to really bad for Forward really quickly, and compLexity just outlasting them in those fights, and Terrorblade getting way too big. 6-1-11 for Miracle.
Yeah, Terrorblade Gaming, it happens. So yeah,
those auras though, those auras were super nice for compLexity. The Pipe Crimson, the Guardian Greaves.
Absolutely, of course. It's again the lineup for the early Guardian Greaves. It was a little funky earlier on. Like, we're gonna keep going back to use, but yes, eventually you're gonna get to start pushing as a team, and no doubt those were so useful, especially in those fights that just take a while. You get such good value out of them, of course. So. Yeah, very good fighting for compLexity, very deserving in a game that it was a lead early on for Forward Gaming. Again, take a look at the graphs there, and seemed pretty decent for them, but compLexity eventually pulled ahead, and Terrorblade and everyone else able to do the job. So game 1 going the way of compLexity. It's a best of 3. We'll see if Forward Gaming can force that 3rd game, or if compLexity will be able to close it out here. The spot to the MDL Disneyland Paris Majors on the line out of the North American region. Game number 2 going to be coming up next. I'm BreakyCPK, joined by Elevated. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.